afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Loch Briar Knits. I am your hostess, Kelly, and I am coming to you from a windy, trying to be sunny, Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome. Welcome to my little crafty corner of the world. And I have quite a bit to show you this time around. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 finished objects. I have 1 half finished object, 1 almost half finished object. And I think that's, one that I'm looking to cast on, which will be maybe a bit of a mindless knit for those times where I just don't want to think. I don't want to think while I'm knitting. I had planned on doing a podcast probably about a week or 2 ago, but we had things going on in the weekend, and then it's just like time got away from me, or I was just feeling too burned out from work. But the good thing is that I put my notice in, and March 14th will be my last day of work. And March 14th at 5:01 p.m., I will be a retired lady of leisure. Actually, not necessarily completely retired, just from the day job. But I'm also for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a writer on the side, so I'll still be doing that. And I also have my Loch Briar Knits hand-dyed yarn business. So I will be finally able to dedicate time to the things I want to do instead of the things I have to do. Let's jump in. I'm trying to think where to start. Let's start with finished objects. So I did finish my February socks. I'm taking part in the Sox-A-Long that's being put on by Soxie, Nana, Alice, and Diane from My Pink Bathtub. They're doing a year-long knit along for socks, and you can enter 1 or however many pairs of socks that you finish every month, and then there's a chance to win prizes and everything. So this is my, let me just see. This is Evie Knits self-striping yarn, and for the life of me, I can't find my tag. I think I do have it actually. Am I putting this on? Yeah, I am putting We're off to a great start. So these are not for me. Most of the socks I'm knitting this year are going to be for gifts, because now that I'm going to be retired, I don't have an income anymore. Unless I make it from my writing or my hand-dyed yarns. So I'm trying to be a little economical, and I have so much yarn, it just makes sense to use that for gift knitting. So that's what I'm doing. So these will be one of the socks that will be gifted at Christmas time. And this is Evie Knits self-striping yarn. I do not remember the name of it. If I'm able to find it, I will put it down below. But I love her self-striping yarn. I love her yarn, period. These were my February socks. And then I did finish the first sock, of what will be my March socks. And this is, look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is by Seawall Fibers, who I am pretty sure are from Nova Scotia as well. And if not, then they're from PEI, but I'm almost positive they're from Nova Scotia. And I also believe they still have a shop. I got these probably about maybe 3 years ago. And I love the colorway so much, I bought 2. So this one will be a gift, and the other ones will be for me. I mean, I am knitting a second one to go with it. Here, you get 1 sock. The rest are for me. But this is the yarn. Isn't it pretty? This is all I have done to the second sock, though. I love this. I'm so glad that I kept, these ones are going to be for my brother. So he and I will have twin socks. Now, the other 2 finished objects, I was on a Sophie scarf kick probably a couple months ago now. I think it was like around right after Christmas. And then I knit actually no, it would have been before Christmas, because I knit some for Christmas gifts. And then I knit a couple for myself, I think. Definitely one for myself. Maybe the other ones I gave as gifts. And then over the last couple of weeks, I knit myself a couple more. I think these are going to be for me. One of them will probably be for me. And then I think I want to do some up just as donations. So this one is made out of Illimani Echo Llama, which is one of my favorite yarns. It's so soft. It's so cozy. This is probably going to be the one that I keep. And I finished that one last night. And then I did soaked and blocked it. And then a few nights ago, because it takes no time at all to knit these things, I knit up this one, which I also really like because I love the color. I love this color. And this yarn this is what I made my ranunculus out of. And I think it's called Super Soft, but I can't remember the brand that makes it. And I have it in several colors, and I think I have something like 4 or 5 skeins each, but they kind of come in like smaller skeins, I think 50-gram skeins. But yeah, I love this. I find the Sophie scarf is an excellent go-to if you want a quick and mindless knit. And that is the first petite knitter. Am I saying that? Why does that suddenly sound wrong? Petite knitter. Anyway, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. That's the first pattern of hers that I knit with. And then I moved on to the Terrazzo sweater with the one I'm going to show you next. Yeah, I'll show you that next. I will say, I love how she writes her patterns. This is my first sweater pattern with her. And it is the Terrazzo sweater. Do I have a picture of it on here? I don't know if, oh, yep, I do. I don't know how well it's going to show up because it's printed in black and white. But, so this is kind of like a back view, but I'll put a little thing up in the thing and drop my bag here. On the cover of the pattern. It's a turtleneck, which I love. If anybody has been with me for any length of time, you know, I do like things up to the neck. Where's my glasses? I'm gonna need them for this. Right. So the yarn I am using is, and this sweater is actually going to be part of my Project Diaries installment as well. So I'll go into more detail on that. I'm hoping this doesn't make a noise, but I've got a bunch of dog hair. If anybody is familiar with my vlogs, you know I have a golden retriever scout who sheds like nobody's business. First off, I'm going to show you the yarn I'm using. So I'm mixing it up with, so this is the main yarn, and this is from Lovely Valley Wool. It's just the natural color. I'm pairing that with Knit Picks, their Alpaca Cloud lace weight, and this is the Carson colorway, which is pretty much kind of a coal black. So these are the two, and this is where I'm at. And look at the color of that. Is that not beautiful? Nice close up. I love how that's marling together, and the material it's making is just beautiful. It's, I don't even know how to describe it, because the wool is just, it's soft, and it's a merino rambouillet wool. Look at that. Oh, I love that so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have had a few hiccups, which I'll go into more detail in the project diaries. Once I get over that, it was smooth sailing. I realized what I did wrong, and it was user error. So it was all me. It was all me. But I ended up having to tink way back. I think I'd gotten down to kind of where I joined here, or I was about to join, and then realized I had, I think it was something like 22 stitches or something short. Couldn't figure out what I did wrong. I did eventually figure out what I did wrong. So I had to think back, obviously, but I just, oh my God, I love the material this is making. Anyway, so now I'm just on Body Island, and I think I have probably, I'm going to go maybe about this more before I start doing the ribbing for the hem. I measured out, and what I did, if you watched one of my earlier episodes from this year where I talk about raglan and just kind of finding the sweater that fits me best and the length I like and all that good stuff, just so that when I'm making my sweaters, I'm ending up with a product that is exactly or as exactly as I can get it how I want it. So I pulled out my favorite sweaters based on sleeve length, which was not this one because as you can see, I have a bad habit. For some reason, I seem to think my arms are shorter than they are. And I like my sleeves to be like that. I want them either to here, but no more than to here. So I've measured out how long I like my sleeves, how the length I need to have the body in order for it to hit where I want. The other thing that I found I had a bad habit of doing is not switching out my needle to a smaller size when I go to do the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater. And then I find that some of my sweaters are sort of flares out a bit and I want it to go in. So I'm like, you really got to maybe follow the pattern and go down the needle size like they tell you to, Kelly. Sometimes doing what you're told is a good thing. With all that newly attained knowledge, I have decided that I was going to employ all that when I made this. So I know how far I have to go down for the body. I've measured that based on my favorite sweaters. And then I will be going down to the needle size recommended to do the ribbing. And then one thing I have to do, which I usually avoid sweaters where I have to do this, but I'm going to have to pick up for the neck. I'm not really good at it, but you know what? The last time I had to do it, I surprised myself by not making a total mash of it. So part of what I want to do this year, I feel like with getting rid of the day job, I'm going to have so much more mental space in my head for things that I want to have space in my head, things that I want to put in my head. I don't have to, I don't have to be thinking about work and I got to do this. And I got to, just regular crappy work stuff until I didn't like my job. I liked it fine with the first company. And then when they sold, not so much. I feel like I can kind of feel the weight of that leaving and I have more space in my brain for things that I want to think about, like knitting and writing and reading and just whatever. So anyway, that to be said, I think this sweater is going to turn out better than the last few sweaters that I have knit. So I'm very excited to keep going on this, especially since I'm on Body Island right now and I don't actually have to use my brain. It's a good mindless knit when you just want to kind of sit there and watch knitting videos. What else have I got here for ya? Was it last episode I was talking about my tail of woe with my sock yarn here that I had to rewind and put back on here, taking the sock apart because I didn't have enough yarn. I found one ball left and I know that I'm on a yarn diet, but I need that one ball to be able to make 2 pairs of socks out of the 2 skeins that I have. So this is Croy sock. That's it. fascinating. Anyway, so easily entertained. In order to make the socks long enough, I needed a third skein. I couldn't find one anywhere, and I knew I could go online, but I was just like kind of hemming and hawing. And then I went into the variety store where I got this one originally, and they had one skein left. So I did pick it up. It was $6.99. So now I can go back and finish those socks. But I also do think I'm going to keep the needle size I was at, which is bigger than what I make for my socks. On my socks, I use a size 0. I think on those ones, because the yarn is thicker, I was using a size, I want to say 1.5 maybe. So I think I'll keep the same needle size, but I will go down in the stitches. So I think that's what I'll do. So is that everything? What's in here? I think this was just the, oh yeah, this is the bag that I've got kind of the different yarns I tossed in to make. Oh, here it is. So for the Sophie scarf that was made out of the green, it's sheep soft. That's what it is. And it's a 100% Masham and blue-faced Leicester. So let's get my finger out of the way. Sheep soft. In this bag is basically just some other selections of yarns that I have enough here, pretty sure, to make the more Sophie scarves. So I thought those might be a really good idea because they knit up fast, and it's just nice to have a mindless knit on the go other than socks. I mean, socks are pretty mindless once you've made enough of them. I thought it would be nice to maybe do up a bunch of them and then drop them off at Adsum House, which is the women's shelter. I am definitely going to make some more petite knit sweaters. I really like her pattern. I don't know why I was surprised. I mean, everybody seems to knit her sweaters and rave about them. This is a bag we have a local shop over in Halifax called the Black Market. I love this bag. Look at the flowers and stuff on it. Do I have the pattern in here? No, I don't. Okay, so the pattern, I'm going to throw it up somewhere here. And it is called the 1,000 Kilometer scarf. And I don't have the thing here, so I can't tell you who made it. Oh, wait, is that it? No, that'd be too easy, Killy. I'll put a photo up here. I had this yarn I had a batch of yarn in my stash on Ravelry that I had kind of designated for trade or sell. And then I thought, you know what? Now that you're retiring and you're on a yarn diet, that maybe you might want to hang on to your yarn. All of it, just in case. Just in case. So I pulled this one out of the batch, which is Sugarbush Bliss. And this is made out of 70% extra fine superwash merino, 20% mulberry silk, and 10% cashmere. And I'm telling you, the gushability of this is insane. And I think I have enough for a sweater. I think I have more than enough for a sweater, actually. I feel like this would be so drapey, and the silk in it just gives it such a soft, drapey feel. So basically what you do is you take 1,000 kilometers of yarn and you do a Turkish cast on, which I don't think I've done before, but I did watch a really good tutorial. So I think that will definitely help me. And it doesn't look too difficult. Then you basically knit it on magic loop, but because you do the Turkish cast on, the end part is already sealed. And you go until you've used up your 1,000 kilometers of yarn, and then you do a Kitchener stitch, and voila, you've got a nice big yarn, big long, not a kilometer long, but a big long scarf that's doubled and sealed at both ends. I don't know if that's something I would wear. I don't know if it would feel a little too thick around my neck, but again, if not, then it can be donated to the women's shelter. This is the yarn I'm going to use. It is so incredibly smushy. And I think the drape on it will keep it from feeling too heavy. And think I have, it goes to about 20 yards or 20 meters past a kilometer. So I have more than enough. And I might just go until I finish. As you can see, there's like a whole bag full of them. I think there's like 10 skeins, something like that. Anyway, so that's the plans. I think my main concentration this week is going to be to work on the Terrazzo sweater and to get my second sock done. And then I may get the 1,000 kilometer scarf. Brain. The 1,000 kilometer scarf cast on so that I can get try the Turkish cast on and see if I have any issues with that. I don't think I will. It seems pretty straightforward. And I think that is about it. I would love to finish the Terrazzo sweater this, I'm going to say within a month. Not necessarily within this month, but over the next 4 weeks. I would like to get that done. I'm not going to be able to probably wear it this season, which is kind of a meh. I mean, I could make it so it's not a turtleneck, and I did consider that, but I love me a good turtleneck. So I think I'm going to go and make that a turtleneck. So that's what's going on. And hopefully, once I am retired in this time next week, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I will have more knitting time. And I hope I'll have more knitting time. I will have more knitting time. And I am so excited about that. Anyway, so that is about all that's going on right now. So I will cap this off now. I hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you next time on the next episode or the March vlog or the project diaries. I'm branching out. So until then, happy knitting, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.